Okay, so this will be pizza page, I don't know, order online order. I'm gonna save some images. Save the logo. Oh. Oh. Good. Alright, let's start with that. So, very fast, let's create our header. Put image, source, no. Okay. So, we need jQuery for sure. fast to all. We're gonna get rid of margins, paddings, and the borders. And we're gonna add to the body a background. Main bg.jpg. Great. Kind of big. Is that too big? 100 pixels? Yeah. Alright. Next, let's put our pizza. So I'm gonna create here a division ID main wrapper. In here I'm gonna have a division for ID pizza, and another division ID form, or no, right content. And pizza will have an image base.png, okay. So main wrapper will be centered. And inside main wrapper we have pizza, and we have right content. Both of them are going to float. Therefore I need to, there you go. Maybe a bit of margin here. So to the header, margin bottom of 20 pixels. Good. And I feel like giving a background to my main wrapper, a little background, just to show where we're working on. RGBA, white 255, 255 to 55, little opacity of 0.7. More opacity. Yeah? Good. Then main wrapper will also have a padding of 20 pixels around it, and we'll have a, you know what, 25 to live with 800 only. 25 in each side makes 50, so we're left with 800 pixels. And just to make it look nice, a border radius of 15 pixels, a border 1 pixel solid white. That's it. Too much styling now. Good. So now on the right side, we're gonna have our little form to add the topic. We'll leave the topics for the end if we have time. What we want to see is how to fill up the form, submit with AJAX, send it to the server, give it a nice style like a structure in HTML, and send back the structure back to our page. So let's start with the form. On the right side, we're gonna put an input. So we're gonna need to ask at least the name of the person. Okay. What is the name of the attribute to write something inside the input? So the input is already with something inside. Placeholder. Okay. So what we have is just an input. There you go, it says name. Okay. Okay, we have to just put some space in between maybe. So the one in the left, which is pizza, should have a width of 350 pixels, while the one on the right, we are gonna give it a width of 450. Combined makes 800. 400, 400. Yeah, much better. Okay, good. So now each input inside write content, we're gonna give it a style. We need the name. We will need maybe the email address of the person. We will need telephone. Yeah, address as well, of course. Address. Maybe first just address number. No, just address. And finally, text area with the order. Why do I need a name? Why do I need an ID? So specifically with jQuery, with JavaScript, select by ID and get the value, right? Okay, the name is not necessary, but it's always good practice to put a name, because when you submit a form, what you submit is the name. You don't submit the ID. Okay, don't get confused. The ID is for us with JavaScript to be able to find something by ID. But if this was a form without AJAX and we're actually submitting to another page, what we send is the name, okay? And the value, whatever they wrote. So name equals value, okay? It's not ID equals value. It's really the name, what we submit, okay? The ID is to select with JavaScript or jQuery. The name is when we submit, that's the name of the variable, okay? Perfect. So also the text area, let's give it the same styling. Okay, let's see if it's not too big. No, perfect. Okay. And then we're gonna put here a button to order, place order. Okay, no. Comments. That's it. Okay, I have an idea. It's toppings. Okay. Then we have two buttons. Okay. So we're gonna make all our buttons they will have a padding of 10 pixels and 20 on the sides. Color of the text will be white, and this will be the thank you. That's gonna be the color. Okay, let's see. Not bad. Alright, so here's the idea. We put the name, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't say comments there. Okay, so, and here on the topping, we're gonna put, for example, mushrooms. Half topping, right? Then, whatever, green peppers, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll keep on adding it to the list. And then at the end, when we place the order, it's going to get all the information from here, plus whatever we added, and submit the order. Okay? So let's start with the toppings. We're gonna need a division with an ID, toppings, content. Here we go. On click to the button ID of topping, we are going to submit the topping to the server and get it back and put it inside toppings. Okay? So, on document ready, on click to add topping, which is an ID, so first thing, what do I want to do? Before adding to list, I mean like in steps of the program, when I click, get the value. Perfect. So we're gonna save a variable of topping equals to the ID toppings dot val. Perfect. I get the value. Okay. If I didn't want to do with AJAX or anything like that, I can just easily take the ID of my division, and just append the topping. Right? So every time I put something, click, 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 it's going to insert it right away. I inserted it in the division toppings content. So I'm taking it from the input toppings. I'm taking the value. On click to the button, I insert it right here. Yeah, inside topics content dot append the topping, which is the value. No, there's no styling to it. I didn't put any stylings of yet. Yeah, it's hidden. It's not there, but that's it. Let's add. I want green peppers. I want what? Jalapeno. But you see, it's adding it like ugly, like just one after the other. So we could here maybe topping and add to topping a division and concatenate it with the topping, right? And then add a class to that division class. I don't know. Topping, result. I don't know. Right? And then just take that class, topping result, and inside CSS give some styling. But now, it's true, we can do this only with jQuery. There's no need of AJAX. But we have to learn this now, so when we get to PHP, we already know how to submit to the server and then just add it to the database. And in that moment be able to keep that content. Because right now it's just dynamic, it's just like it happens once, we refresh the page and it's gone, right? We want to be able to save it in the database. So that's why it's important now to know with AJAX how to send it to the server, and the server will do the same thing. We'll give it a nice form, it's gonna add division, it's gonna add the class, get it back to us and insert it inside toppings. Okay? Let me finish with the styling very fast. Let's say color CCC and font decoration. Is it font decoration italic? No? Font style? Let's say, and I'm gonna add a bullet to each one. Bullets is ampersand BULL semicolon. Do you see them? Okay, much better. So, let's convert this into the AJAX version. Questions so far about what's happening here? Max? We're good? Okay, the next page has to be in PHP on the server side, right? So we're going to submit to a page, let's call this order.php or order, I don't know, server order. Okay, what's happening on the server? Save. And we're gonna use AJAX then. After we get the topping with AJAX, okay, remember this is JSON. AJAX with JSON will need a URL, we'll need data, we'll need a type, and success, what happens when we get it back. Okay? What is the URL, Max? Which is what's the name of the next file? It will be the one I created, which is server order.php. Okay? So that's what I'm gonna send information. Server order.php. Data. What am I gonna send to server order? Topic. In JSON, right? Because I can send a lot of things. Okay, so I'm going to send T for topping. Let's just change the name of the variable, and it will be topping. Okay, pardon me? No, it's JSON. Inside data, we have JSON. Okay? Type. We can use post or get. I mean, if we're using AJAX, why would we submit with get? We cannot see the URL, right? We could, but it's useless. Post. And finally, a function that will send us back the order, let's say, or the topping. And we are going to insert this topping into topping content. So the same thing we had before. We're going to append it right here. So I don't need this anymore. Okay, you guys remember the what was it? E-business. We saw it a bit. PHP when we were sending the variables. Okay, so with PHP, which is the opening and closing tag of PHP? Yes, question mark PHP close. This means that I'm gonna write PHP inside. Okay. How do you get a variable then? Remember? It's the $sign underscore the method. What method we're using? Post. And inside the square brackets, we put the name of the variable. Which is the name of the variable that we're sending? That's the value. T. We are sending T. And this T will get topping. No, topping, right? Yeah. You know what? We're gonna change this just to avoid confusion. Server topping. Server top. What do you mean? Yeah, just the topping. In this system, I thought about two buttons. One to add toppings. Once I'm done, place the order. We have two different buttons. Right now I'm just getting the order, the toppings. Okay, so topping comes from here, which is getting the value, right? So I am actually sending from here to here to here to here, all the way to PHP here, whatever I wrote in the input, correct? So let's save this as a topping. Alright, in PHP we don't use var, we use $sign. That means variable. Instead of var, we use the $sign. Okay, so next thing, let's just print the topic, right? To print in PHP, you will use something called echo, which is the document.write of JavaScript, echo. And we're gonna echo topic, right? So this file for now is receiving the topping and it's just echoing it back, which is gonna send it back to AJAX, receive it here, and we're going to insert it into the topping, into the topping content. Okay, so let's see if it's working. So far jalapeno add error. Oops. T echo blah 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 line 3. I have some error in my PHP. I forgot a semicolon. Now semicolons are important, right? So if you were used to put them everywhere in JavaScript, you're not going to have any trouble. Let's try again. Add topic. See, it's ugly again. Right? So now let's echo the division with the class. I'm going to use single quotes. What was the name of the class? Top res. Okay. with a bullet. Okay, plus topping, right? Plus closing my division. Okay, now in PHP we do not concatenate with plus. We concatenate with dot. Same thing, same rules, just with dot. Okay, so now let's see.
Why can't we be consistent? Exactly. Why they don't standardize everything?
The reason why was because the first language that was created, I had no ifs, no conditionals, nothing. It was just like very basic stuff. Like I think there were conditionals, but it was mostly like adds and subtractions. And as programming advanced, computer science advanced, they came up with new languages with more features, more and more features. And then they would create one feature, and then they would create another feature that was being different than the one before. And then you have many different languages that for example, this one, PHP, JavaScript, Java, etc. They are based on C. They have the same C, it's a programming language. It's a very old language. They're all based on that one. But each one has different functions and features and way of programming that each one coded according to what they thought it was better, right? So that's why I found it more logic to use a dot and a plus, because it's a string, and in a string you use dots like period. It's part of the string. Plus sign is to make operations. It's to add. Right? But maybe people from Java, they say, no, add, we want to add two strings together. So anyways. All right. And it's not like they. Who's they? The Association of Programmers from the World. There's no such a thing as they.
The God of programming.
Yeah, PHP was made by some guy in his basement. It took him 3 days to do PHP.
3 days?
Yeah, I swear. I think PHP means personal home programming, or something like that. And then after some years, they said like, no, you know what? That's not a good name for PHP, and they tried to change it to hypertext preprocessor.
Oh, that's a way better.
Which is HPP, not PHP, but that's the best they could do. So it's not like there's not such a thing as they. Ah? Okay. So let's see. Okay, perfect. It's working. Now, how do we know if this is working? How can I prove you that this is AJAX, that I'm actually sending information to the server and getting it back? On the console, right here, I can see that every time I click on add topping, I make a new post towards the page server order. And that post is sending T with value jalapeno. Right? And the response that I'm getting from the server is the division class blah blah blah. Right? So everything is here. I'm sending to server this data. The response that I got from the server is this, which is actually what I echo. I echo it on PHP. Right? Now, from PHP, once that we got the data on PHP, now we're able to make a connection to the server, save it into our database, and we're done, and we can have this data saved, right? Like every time you add a post on Facebook, that is saved somewhere. It doesn't disappear every time. Like now, when I refresh the page, that's gone, right? Facebook, you refresh the page and everything still stays there. Well, because it was sent to the server, and they were able to save it. All right, so that was for adding toppings. A jalapeno, and then onions, and we're gonna have green peppers. And sorry for the vegetarians, but I want chicken. And bacon. Okay. Now, just to explain you how AJAX works, I'm gonna send another variable here. Okay, just to show you how to send many variables. And it's the same with a comma, right? Because it's JSON. I can send another variable, and I'm gonna send a variable action, and I'm gonna call this action topic. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to use the same PHP file to place the order and to save the topics, to add toppings and to save the order. How is PHP going to know what kind of information is receiving? Well, we can do it with an action, right? We're gonna say if the action is topping, return something like this. If the action is place order, return the whole order, right? So now let's make the button for the order. So we have the button order. Okay. By the way, I was supposed to validate and everything, right? If the topping is empty, some simple validation. If it's empty, alert. If it's not empty, then go ahead, put it in. All right. So order dot click what are we going to read? Everything. So we need the name, we need the telephone, we need the email, we need the address and comments. Email, name, email, telephone, address, and comments. Yes. Good. Remember to validate. Okay, very important. You don't want to send garbage to the server, and you don't want to save garbage in your server, right? So you validate. And then with AJAX, we're gonna send all this information. Okay. You can have a separate PHP page. Maybe create order, right? But listen, this is a very small page just for nothing. You know, I could have everything in one page, as you wish. If you prefer to have many pages, go for it. Create many PHP pages. If you want to have only one, you can decide what action to take with a variable action. Okay? Which you can name it action, you can name it A, you can name it whatever you want. Alright? So, it's going to be the same thing. URL, same page. Data. Okay, and let's send N for name, just to avoid confusions and understand that it's a different variable. T for telephone, E for email, A for address, and action, let's call this order. No, because this variable T belongs to the function of order, and this variable T belongs to the function of a topping, so they are local variables. That's the reason why local variables were created. So we can have the freedom of having different, same variables in different functions, and they do not interfere with each other. Okay? So that was format data, comma. Next. Type. What is a type? Post, comma, and finally on success function. Okay, we are going to get back the, let's call this, I don't know, confirmation. Okay. And what I was thinking about is to, on place order, to make a little light box in the middle with the order confirmation, very nice, fade in, you know, and show that. All right, so let's create that box very fast before. Yes, thank you, student. So right here, division ID confirmation. Confirmation will be position absolute with 500 pixels, height 400 pixels, left 50%, margin left, watch, minus 250 pixels, and maybe from the, that's not true, and maybe from the top just like 40 pixels, just so it's not at the edge, and then a background color. This one is going to be dark, so RGBA 0, 0, 0, and like 0.6 of the fading. Okay, and a border of 3 pixels, 333, solid. Border radius of 10 pixels. Thank you. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Looks good to you? Perfect. Display none. Good. Now we're gonna get all this information, send it to the server, and on success we are going to insert into confirmation what we got back from the server. So dot what? We got back from the server, we insert it inside our pop-up. No, dot value is to get the value. Append is to keep on adding. HTML. We're just going to insert it once. Alright? And once it's inserted, we're going to fade it in. Alright? So, let's see. Just by doing this, I'm not gonna get any answer back from the server. Ah, yeah, I'm gonna get it. Hold on. We're supposed to get the action, which is equal to post. What's the name of the variable? Action. The name of the variable is action. The value is order. So the name of the variable, action. Okay? Remember, that's very simple. What you want to get inside the post or if it was get, will be like this. Okay? What you want to get in here is the name of the input if you are submitting. If you are submitting, is the name of the input. If you are using AJAX, is the left side of the JSON. As simple as that. Okay? So we're gonna get action. Now, if the action is topping, we echo this part, right? For topics. If the action is order, we are going to echo something else, right? For now, let's just echo order. Okay? So let's test it. Order. That's it. Alright? So, if the action is order, then we need to get all our variables. So we need to get the name, which is equal to post, and let's see, who can tell me what is the name of the variable? N. We need to get the email, E. Great. That's why I gave them different numbers, different names, because I could have done the same name, name, tell, but then you would be confused, right? So I prefer giving different names, so it could be more clear. So NTEA, N, T for telephone, A for address, and C for, no, comment, CC. I did. Right? C for comments. Alright. So, the message will say something like this. H3. Thank you, the name. Right? We have successfully placed your order. We will send it to the address. information. So telephone, email, what else? And that's it, comments. Right? Ooh. Thank you. All right. Just to do this fast, text align center. I don't want to spend much time on styling, and the same thing, font style italic. Okay. So let's see. Name. Word. Email f@hotmail.com. My telephone 514-123-45678. That's too much. Address 1000 René Lévesque, Montreal. Okay. Well cooked, thin crust. No oil. Okay. By the way, we forgot to add the toppings to the order. Okay, and I want you to do that. Place order. Thank you. Right? And we are sending back a bunch of tags. We can put classes, and in the style sheet we can make it very nice. And at this point, maybe we can send an email to Pizza with the order. You just got a new order with all the information. Yeah? Questions? Good. So, who can tell me how to add the toppings here? I'm gonna add a close button while you think about it. Okay, how? Okay, let's put T for top. No, for yeah, top. Right? And we send toppings. I like that. Now, toppings. We need to get the toppings. Equals what? Where are the toppings located? The other function is has nothing to do. Here, I'll show you the index file. Here is the input. Here is the button, and here is where I add the toppings. Toppings content. Toppings will give me the value of the input. I want to get all the toppings that were added. So topic contents, great. Right? Dot what? No. Dot HTML. It's not an input. Dot HTML. I want to get the contents. Right? Therefore, I'm going to get on PHP now top. So toppings. Toppings. Okay, and I can echo the toppings. So maybe I'm gonna add a little horizontal HR. Yep. And then after that, I'm gonna add the toppings. That's it. So when broccoli. I want mushrooms. I want bacon times 3. Okay, and we want sun-dried tomatoes. What? What else? That's it. That's not much. Maybe too expensive. All right. Place order. Ta-da. We forgot the cheese. Well, that's like a pizza. Always has cheese. Right? I need a close button somewhere on close. This dot fade out. Right? Or the ID dot fade out. Let's put it to the same thing, to this. What's the name? Confirmation. Actually, confirmation dot click. On click to confirmation. This dot fade out. As simple as that. Refresh the page. It's gone. So let's make Ashley happy. Bacon, pepperoni. It's gonna be a meat lover. Italian sausage. Right? What else? That's it. And pineapple or smoked meat. Oof. Smoked meat. Right? Place order. There you go. Click. Buy. If I change my mind, okay, I'm gonna send this to Emily. Since we wrote .html, it's going to replace whatever was there before. Now it says thank you, Emily. Yep.